Hey Calc fam, okay, so we're going to do chapter 3, section 4, number 47. The equation it gives us is y equals cosine of sine of 3 theta. And the question is to find y prime and y double prime. It's going to be really important in this question to keep our parentheses clear and easy to read. I hope you can see that that's my theta and not a 0. I have a hard time with that. Okay, so to find the first derivative, it may seem simple for this one, but it's actually, you got a couple chains on chains here. So the first derivative, we're going to take dy dx of this side and have that equal to d dx of this side. So we're going to write that. We're going to do this one a little bit more laid out because it's a little tougher. Cosine, sine, 3 theta, parentheses. You okay? Okay, so to take d dx of cosine sine of 3 theta, we have to do the chain rule. So we see that there's a couple things here playing in the game. We have this inner, which is 3 theta, and we have this inner, which is sine of cosine. So the first thing we're going to do, well, the first thing that I like to do is write inner, put colon marks, and write outer. I know I probably spelled that wrong, just move along, it's okay. So we originally have an inner of sine of 3 theta, right? Isn't that what's being attacked by cosine? So we have the inner sine of 3 theta, and we have an outer of cosine cloud. But wait, 3 theta still has an end. Sine of 3 theta still has another parenthesis, so we have another inner within the inner. This one, we're going to do the inner is going to be equal to 3 theta, and the outer is going to be equal to sine. That's a little bit difficult to grasp because it's inside this, which is inside of that. It's almost like Inception. So the next part of this is that we're going to mush it all together. So when we finally take this inner with this inner and put it with that outer and that outer, we end up with a fantabulous y prime that is equivalent to 3, right, because of this inner, the derivative of the inner, times the derivative of the outer, which is sine, right, for that outer. But we're going to multiply that by the actual outer, which is sine of this inner, which is 3 theta. It's a little bit hard to understand, I know. Roll with me here, though. We're going to multiply that by the derivative of the outer, which is negative sine, so we're just going to throw a negative out here because we have that sign right here. And the derivative of this sign right here is cosine. So we're going to add a cosine of 3 theta right here. Whoa, that's a tough one, isn't it? Okay, but this is your y prime. If we want to clean that up, I'm not really sure how clean it can get. We can do y prime equal to negative 3 sine of 3 theta multiplied by cosine of 3 theta. That's as clean as that one gets. This is an ugly question. I can't believe Mrs. Berkowitz assigned this to you. This is disgusting. All right, so the second part of this is to find y double prime. So we're going to do the same thing. Except for this one, we also have a product rule. So we're going to break this into a couple parts. We have the first and the second. So first things first, the first times the derivative of the second. This is not as horrible as this first one. So the first one is negative 3 sine of sine 3 theta. Add your parentheses, don't get confused. The first times the derivative of the second. Oh wait, we have that inner again, remember? So derivative of the inner is 3 times the derivative of the outer, which is negative sine. See how I put that negative out in front here? At 3 theta. Make sure I'm teaching you this right, because that would be horrible if I'm not. Yep, that's good. That's the derivative of the first. The first times derivative of the second. We're going to add that to the second, which is cosine of 3 theta, to the derivative multiplied by the derivative of the first. I'm going to put the derivative of the first down here because it's a little bit gross. So the derivative of the first would be, if we're doing this right, Jeannie.
I'm sorry.
Jesus. Sorry, my sister. We're going to add, okay, we're going to put that -3 out in front, right? We're going to have -3 cos 3 theta times 3 cos of 3 theta. Wow, this is hard to explain. Times cos of sine of 3 theta. Holy guacamole! You have a lot of inners here multiplied by a lot of outers. Let me simplify this for you. So y double prime is going to be, when we add this -3 and this -3, what do we get? We get +9. We get 9 sine of sine 3 theta. If I did that right. And we're going to add that to, here we have 1 -3 times a +3, so we're going to add -9. We have a couple cosines here that we can add together, and we get cos squared. Can you see this okay? We have cos squared of 3 theta times cos of sine of 3 theta. And that, my friends, is your disgusting y prime.